So if you're brand new to YouTube and you're having trouble growing your channel, getting subscribers and views, then you've probably seen this before. It's called small YouTuber support, and you're thinking maybe this is a good idea. Well, today I'm going to talk about why this is a bad idea, and especially if you want to do YouTube for the long term. So let's go ahead and get into this. Welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. On this channel, you'll learn how to be creative, and I'll teach you the tools you need to create. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel create more content like this. And so let's go ahead and start off with what small YouTuber support is. So if you go to YouTube, type in small YouTuber support, you'll see a lot of videos on this, especially small YouTuber support live. So people are doing live streams for small YouTubers. And so what it is basically is you're going to go on these videos. They are small YouTubers and they're asking other small YouTubers to support each other. And what that means is it's sub for sub. So you come to my channel, I'm a small YouTuber, you subscribe to my channel, and then I subscribe to your channel. Hence the whole small YouTuber support, and really it's sub for sub. Now this has been around for a very long time, ever since YouTube got started pretty much. And I could understand why people would want to support each other in this case. Because you're starting out as a small YouTuber, you don't have any subscribers, you have very few views, and so it makes sense for you to help support other small YouTube channels because you're a small YouTuber yourself. And so the overall thinking is you're going to be able to grow faster, get more subscribers quicker because you are helping or supporting other small YouTube creators. But the reality is that's not really what's happening, and in the end you're going to end up hurting your channel for the long term and possibly even getting kicked off of YouTube. So let's go ahead and get to the part where you should not do this and why, being a small YouTuber, if this is something that you're seeing for the first time, I just wanted to give you some information on, the overall long-term impact of you doing this whole small YouTuber support thing. Okay, so now we're in my comments area, and the reason that I want to show you this is because small YouTuber support is not just limited to other channels or videos, and quite often people will come to your videos and leave comments asking for support. Now in this case, I don't have any of those comments available because I've already removed all of them, but I wanted to show you the options that you have if you were to get these support comments on your own videos. Now, as I stated earlier, none of these comments are related to that, but if you were to get that, you would come here to the action menu with these three dots, click on it, and then you're going to have these options. You have the option to remove, report, hide user from channel, and then these last two, approving their comments, or especially adding them as a comment moderator, you should never do, okay? But if you do have them, the easy thing to do is remove them, or you could hide them from your channel. And if they're constantly coming back to your channel asking for support, you could report them. And you could do the same thing on comments on other channels. So now that you've seen what you can do here in your comments area, let me show you what could possibly happen if you were to get a lot of subscribers quickly and the overall long-term impact of doing this. So here, I'm going to show you an example of what could happen if you do this whole small YouTuber support thing. Now, in this case, this is for views. I did a test a while back where I purchased some services to see what would happen if I wanted to get more views on my channel. Now, even though this isn't actually subscribers, this is something that's going to happen very similarly if you were to engage in this whole YouTuber support thing. So what happens is you're going to get a spike. So in this case, I had a huge spike. But if you notice, that quickly dropped down. So this is something that would happen very similarly if you were going to do this small YouTuber support thing. You're going to get this huge spike and then it's going to come down really quickly. And the reason I want to show you this is I understand why people would want to do this. Because as a small YouTuber, you want to see this, and if you're going to get these spikes, then maybe you're going to get more views and more subscribers from it. But the reality is not that, okay? So I'm going to talk about the reality of what happens. But before that, let me go ahead and talk about how this is a really bad idea when it comes to YouTube itself. All right, so now let's look at how this whole small YouTuber support thing can really hurt your channel with YouTube. So if you head over to the YouTube community guidelines page and you come down here to fake engagement, it's going to take you to the fake engagement policy page. Now, I will leave a link to this page in the description area below. And the important part is in this section, what this policy means for you. So if you come down here and you read this right here, offering to subscribe to another creator's channel only if they subscribe to your channel, sub for sub. So if you do that, which is this whole small YouTuber support thing, this is a violation of YouTube's policy. Now, you are allowed to encourage viewers to subscribe, hit the like, share, or leave a comment, which is something that practically every YouTuber does, and which I highly encourage myself. But if you do violate this policy, what can happen to your channel? Well, it's right down here. Here's the big one. If you violate this policy, you get 3 strikes, your channel will be terminated. So basically, if you're doing this, and you're doing sub for sub, which is basically what this small YouTuber support thing is, then your channel could get terminated. Now, a lot of people would say, we're supporting each other. How is that sub for sub? Well, if you're doing this and you're doing it for the quote unquote right reasons, and you really are engaging with other small YouTube channels and you're helping each other grow, then that's fine. You have no issues with that. But if you're doing it to eventually end up doing a sub for sub, which has been around for a very long time, and it has many different names throughout the years, and in this case it's now called YouTube support, the end result is still the same. The end result is your channel could be terminated. So that's probably the biggest reason why you shouldn't engage in this whole small YouTube support, or really this whole sub for sub thing. But now let's go ahead and talk about the long-term impacts to your channel and why this really isn't good for your channel overall, besides the fact that you could get your channel terminated. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below. Okay, so now we're back in my analytics, and in this final part of the video, I wanted to show you the long-term impact of you doing this whole small YouTuber support thing, and why it's definitely a bad idea. Not just because you could get your channel terminated, but because what it's going to do to your entire channel, your community, and you as a creator. So very similar to the spike that you get with views, you're going to get a similar spike with subs. And as you can see, what happens is it's going to drop really quickly. And even though you might get a very small burst of more subscribers and views, those people who were coming to your channel to support or sub for sub, they weren't here for you. They weren't here for your content. And they're definitely not going to be part of your community for the long term, because that's not why they came to your channel. They came to your channel because they wanted something in exchange for something else. In this case, subs or views. And so even though you're going to get those really short-term spikes, really quickly, they're no longer going to stay that way. And they're not going to come back to your channel. They're not going to watch your content. And what that signals to YouTube is that your audience, the people who are on the channel, they're not engaged with your content, they're not watching any of it, and that's going to negatively impact everything on your channel. It's going to impact your watch time, your views, your engagement, and YouTube periodically purges all their subscribers. And so if you are on a channel where people are not engaging, watching videos and so forth, eventually those subscribers are going to drop off and they're going to have to resubscribe. And if these people came because they wanted to sub for sub, they're not going to resubscribe to your channel because they probably don't remember what your channel is about. Okay, and so that's really the long-term impacts of that, and it's really going to hurt you when it comes to growing your brand and your channel, because you have not built an audience and community that really loves what you do and will support you for the long term, and so there still is YouTube support, but I highly recommend that you go through the natural way of doing that, doing it organically, and if you are going to be doing other methods where you're going to be on social media, or maybe you're paying for ads, just kind of remember that in the end you're building a community. You want people here to actually come to your channel because they like the content you create and they want to help engage and support your channel for the long term. And so there's lots of other ways that you could do that to grow your channel the quote-unquote right way. And I would definitely avoid doing this whole small YouTuber support thing where it's actually a sub for sub, and just focus on creating the best content for your community and channel. And in the end, you're going to see growth. It might not be spikes like this, but at least it's growth that's going to stay with you for the long term, and it's going to continually grow for the long term as well, which is the best part about doing YouTube. Okay, so if you actually had any thoughts on this, whether you've seen this yourself or maybe you tried it as well, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my YouTube tutorials and tips, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area as well. And if you're a creative geek like me and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.